Hello everyone, ZMiner99 here. Welcome back to another stream. And today, we're going to be picking up where we left off Saturday, last stream, 2 days ago. And yeah, so we're going to be just streaming today, just hanging out, and cutting down some trees. So I will be looking at chat. Did my game just freeze? It did. Okay. That's not good. Not a good start. Yeah. Oh, ow, that was my face. Okay. That hurt a little bit. Alright. Anyway, so today we're just going to be doing a little bit of cutting down trees. I don't know why I said mining. Don't need that or that, for that matter. But you'll notice there's one thing which I did get today. That is my beacon. So yes, we're going to use a beacon today. And that will just hopefully speed up the process a little bit, because I don't already have efficiency 5 on my axe, or on either of my axes. So this actually will be somewhat effective. If I already had efficiency 5, the beacon wouldn't affect the mining speed at all. I need to grab a viable item really quick and throw that in there. So if we go in here, do we get any diamonds from this? I would not use a diamond in the beacon thing, but no. Okay, no one made any purchases since the last stream. So I think we'll go for gold. Seems like a pretty worthless item at the moment. It's not worthless, but I'm not using gold right now. I'm trying to get iron. So yeah, I'm trying to get iron and I'm cutting down trees. Yeah, no, we might go do that later, after I wear out my pickaxes. So if I go to haste, we can get haste 1 off of the level 1 beacon. Even though its reach may not last quite far enough. So where do we get it again? Let's see. Alright, well, it'll be around for the... What will it be around for? Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll move this. Yeah, and actually waste a piece of gold. Yeah, I think we're going to move it over here. Over to this end, so that I have it for the jungle and dark oak trees, which means that I won't have it for the spruce, but the jungle trees are the tallest of all of the trees. So yeah, we'll do that instead. Make it a little bit easier on ourselves. That is another thing which I need to work on, but we will work on that a little bit today. I just lost the iron block. Went straight into the item collection system, which is fine, really. Let's see, where should we put this? I guess we probably shouldn't put it in the water stream. Okay, we'll put it on a roof of something. Probably on there. And this is only going to be temporary, so don't worry about aesthetics. Because it's not going to be very aesthetically pleasing. I'm hoping that if I put it right here, just like this, that it will be able to reach far enough to get us what we want to do. Perfect. It's on haste. Nice. Yeah, so I think that will let us reach all the way over to here, which is what we want with this beacon, just to help us out with the really tall trees. Alright, let's get these going so I don't forget later on. I think I have some bone meal left actually too still. Where would I put that though? Yeah, I'm probably gonna want the bone meal at some point today. If I didn't use it all. Or dump it off. Okay, I think I probably just dumped it somewhere. Oh well. Yeah, we'll just have to live with it. And we can actually make more bone meal whenever we come to actually needing it. So let's go ahead and get started then. So yeah, if there's anything you guys want to talk about today, if you're in the chat, you can post it in there and can talk. Just otherwise, it'll be me just rambling on about random topics. So, yep. All right, let's not sprint today. It'll keep us from falling off of the trees. This is fortune one. Yep, perfect. Exactly what we want. We want to be mining these with fortune so that we get more saplings out of the deal. Or at least I have a chance of getting more saplings. Then we'll start using Silk Touch later on so that we can get more, or so that we can actually get some leaves out of it too, because that's what we're stocking in our shops. So logs, leaves. I might sell some sticks and apples too, but I'm thinking if I'm cutting down enough trees, I'll probably get enough apples to where that can be some kind of a significant food source for me. Yeah, that's a lot of trees, I know, but we need to cut down a lot of oak so that we can get enough oak to actually stock things. Is the thing. So I don't think fish get used as rockets, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that works. So we're not gonna try that. All right. So I guess one thing I can talk about to start off, which is pertinent to this stream, well, not this stream, but future streams, is I got my work schedule for next month. It is subject to change. Okay, I have to throw it out there. It is subject to change, but what that means is that I am actually able to I'm actually able to spend a little bit more time, not necessarily too much more time, but a little bit more time doing streams. So at this point, and I may have to actually reevaluate it because of some shifts that I just got scheduled for this week. But I should be able to stream once every other day. That's what my schedule says right now. If you want to look at that, then you can always go and use the chat command. Actually, I'm not sure if it's actually a command, but exclamation point schedule, I think. That should bring it up, but also if you scroll down, I'm not sure if it works the same on mobile, but on the desktop version or browser version, if you scroll down below the stream, then you'll see I have a little spot in there that talks. It's either like titled content or schedule, something like that, and that has a link to my stream calendar on Google Calendar. That's not the calendar that has all my other stuff on it. That's not my personal calendar. That is my stream calendar. So don't worry about, you're not gonna see anything on there that is like, you're not gonna get a bunch of junk on there if you look at it. That's because I schedule literally everything. So as far as work and all that's concerned, yeah, you're just gonna see the stuff for my live streams if you look at that shared calendar. Or maybe I might end up throwing some other stuff on there for YouTube stuff, but I don't think so, because YouTube, uploading to YouTube, as far as the episodes and stuff are concerned, like videos that aren't just the raw footage of streams, is kind of inconsistent. So yeah. Look at that. I think that this haste thing actually is helping out a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's quite as painfully slow cutting down these trees. Oh, hold on. We have an issue here. Don't yell at me in the comments for this. Oh, I got a cat head from that? Oh, nice. Sweet. That was painful, I will admit. No, so this tree farm, I can kind of joke about. I mean, maybe you guys don't like me joking about it, but it produces string as well, because string, aside from the mob heads, with the data, one of the data packs I have on here, the string is the default drop for cats. So it's kind of weird, I think. I mean, I guess, they have fur in that, so, and it can get pretty long if the cat's anything like my cat in real life. Then the fur can get pretty long. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess you can kind of get string out of that. Or maybe it's because cats like playing with string. I don't know. But yes, you can technically make a string farm using cats. Or by making a cat farm. Which sounds kind of dark to me. And I would not do that. Yeah, no. No, that actually sounds pretty bad. But at the same time, I mean, in this game, people turn villagers into zombies. And then, yeah. It's just that they can get cheaper trades with them. So, yeah, no. It's nice to be going a tiny bit faster with this. Now, is this my slow pick or my fast one? This is my slow one. This is the faster one. Okay. Yeah, because this axe doesn't have any efficiency on it. So normally it'd be going a little bit slower than this. But then the other one has efficiency too. Yeah. You know, maybe one thing that I should do in the future for these streams, which are just like this, I should probably come up with like a list of topics to just talk about. Kind of like on a talk show, I suppose. Not that this is really a talk show, but just a list of topics that I kind of have on standby, maybe. Yeah. I mean, we can go back to economics like I was doing in the last stream. Ginger. I killed Ginger. Oh no, that's someone's cat. I don't know whose cat that is, though. So I think with the Minecraft cats, they actually... I know it's true for at least one cat. That's Jelly. Jelly is a YouTuber and streamer for Minecraft. He produces Minecraft content, and his cat is named Jelly, and they made the texture of one of the cats in Minecraft Jelly. Or that Good Times with Scars cats. You know, made it look like his cat. So you'll see that cat around in the game every once in a while. I wonder if it's the same with that one, because the head actually had the name on it. Or had a name on it. I don't know if it was the name. But Ginger, yeah. I think that might actually be, you know, someone's cat. I don't know if they, like I said, I don't know if they did it with all of the cats, where they had people recommend like a certain, you know, like their own cat, then like it got voted or something. I don't know. But that's quite possible. So yeah, I think that's cool that Mojang did that. Whenever they added all the cat textures, I think that's pretty cool. I love being able to hold the space bar down to climb ladders. Just a pet peeve of mine is always going over to the edge, you know, when you're on a ladder. But I like being able to hold the space bar down. Alright, let's pop through here. Hi, cat. Alright. Let's go chop down a couple more trees. If you're wondering why I got the bone meal, so I can make trees grow faster. If they're not grown by the time I move through everything. Or all the tree types like this one. And look, that one only took one bone meal. Awesome. Yep. Alright. Nice. 22 wood. Not a lot. Ugh. Jungle, dark oak, oak, sticks. Let's go replant the dark oak now that we have enough saplings. Okay, the minecart still is running perfect. That one's still running too. Great. Alright. Yeah, that's one downside of this farm is the fact that it's in a village, so cats will spawn and get in the way of the minecarts. Nothing else does. Iron golems don't spawn in this, which is a good thing because I don't want to kill an iron golem if I don't have to. I mean, I'm fine with lava, but setting up lava over water creates a mess, typically. You better not fall down in this farm, dude. Just get out of here. Go. Go. Go away. It's raining. Go inside. Just go inside. Social distancing. Oh gosh. That's just so annoying. I kind of would like 2 more oak saplings. I guess I'm just gonna steal them from here. It's not really stealing because it's mine already, but you know, that's what we call it. Alright, well let's go ahead and jet up to the top here. Like so. And start chopping these things. Oh, ow. Mildly painful. Hello, Hemington. Where are you? Why am I crying? Do I sound like I'm crying? I'm not crying or sick right now. No. No, I'm not crying or sick right now. Oh, we're wait, what? No, hold on. So are you crying or sick? That's how I'm reading that. I'm guessing that's not what you meant by that comment. Oh, because I was sniffing earlier? Well, I have this thing where, well, it's partly allergies, so it's a little worse now. But where if I don't, like, just do something with my nose where I have to, like, just sniff a little bit, or else my nose will just start to run. And that's something that happens all year round, but it's worse right now with all the pollen. Yeah. English? Oh. Yeah. English is hard. I always get screwed up whenever. I'm assuming you're talking about the apostrophes. Yeah, it's Yeah, English, and I tend to not use apostrophes too much whenever I'm writing because I don't understand them half the time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Um, if I didn't have work still, because I have an essential position, so I still get to go to work and interact with people. But man, if I didn't have work and if I didn't still live with my parents, then that would be, yeah, not talking to people for very long is would definitely be difficult. Um, Even though I mean I still am having a hard time with it, even just because like all my classes were canceled, so I wasn't doing the labs that I had. I wasn't, hanging out with all the people who I knew, like at least in person, because I mean I still had, video conference classes and stuff like that, but yeah, it's a different ball game. You know, it's like the number of people who I talk to has shrunk from like 10 people who I know and talk to outside of my family to like, well, no, then even if you include like church, then that's even more people who I don't talk to but anymore. So yeah. So what grade am I in? I just finished my sophomore year of college. So yeah, I'm studying mechanical engineering right now. And it's actually kind of interesting because I have some transfer credits from high school, doing some AP and running start classes. Um, yeah, you don't go to your classes anymore. Oh man, I would highly recommend though trying. I mean, I know they might not be required to go to your online classes anymore, but still, it's like it's helpful. Um, yeah, but it can be a drag sometimes, um, especially if they're really slow. I know only two of my classes actually had like online, like live, um, had like live lectures. The other three didn't, or other four. Well, one of them was a lab, so um, yeah. Message deleted. What? Uh, hold on. What? I'm trying to figure out here what. Um. I'm assuming it's because of assignments. How can I whitelist that? There should be. Um. Hmm. Let me check real quick. No, you didn't. You didn't say anything bad, but it's because of the first three letters of assignments. That's weird. And you did spell it right. It's not like you spelled it wrong or anything. Um, edit automa? No, I want to create a whitelisted word. I'm trying to. Let me try to figure this out. Uh, see permitted terms. Okay, yeah, this is it here. Um, search for a term to add. Permitted terms. Okay. All right, just give me one sec here. Okay. I'm surprised that it didn't realize that assignments is an okay word. Um, no, you're good, man. You're good. Um, yeah, that's an odd one. I might need to adjust my auto mod settings after this stream a little bit, because that's man, that's a pretty strict. Let me see. I can change a rule set here. Okay, I bet you it was just I had the rule set super high on there for that, for profanity. So I ticked it down one notch. We'll see if that helps it out a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Hemington. So yeah. No, I don't see. Yeah. Oh no, you're good, man. You did not use. You did not. You didn't use foul language. You're good. Anyways, so yeah. Uh, getting used to all this stuff with auto mods, kind of crazy. I ran into another one like that on my last stream. It was it was Ho, because we were talking about it wasn't my last stream, it was 2 streams ago. So, the farming implement, in Minecraft, we were talking about that, and then it it held that comment, and I was like, what? Why? That's I was like, what? So yeah, I don't know, and I don't know why it held that one and then timed you out for that, the one that you put in. I don't know. That's just odd. It's confusing. Automod is confusing. Yeah, that's weird. I guess that's one thing, is it's constant tweaking that you have to make to the you have to constantly edit all of the things just so that all the rules and that. Yeah. One reason why I like having human mods is that doesn't always happen. No. So there are double chests, but I wanted those all to be single chests. And that's it's just how I am sorting my items. It makes it a little bit more organized, and things don't get so cluttered, because each chest is for a different type of tree. I don't know. So yeah, this is I don't know what version you normally play on or familiar with if you do play Minecraft, but on Java, I'm not sure about Bedrock, but you can shift and then place a chest, and then it'll keep them separated, which is really, well, I guess if you see it shift, but I don't know if you're in the Pocket, if you're playing on Pocket in Bedrock, I don't know what. I don't remember how to shift in that. It's been so long since I played Pocket Edition. Yeah, I'd never owned it. I just played it on my friend's iPad at one point. So, yeah. Just keep on planting. Keep on chopping. I have to admit, I enjoyed these streams a lot better. The ones where I'm just doing something simple like this a lot better than the ones whenever I am trying to fight wither skeletons and get a wither skull. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Pocket Edition to me just doesn't have the same feel as the Java edition. I'm not trashing it or anything, but I mean, Pocket Edition is pretty cool in the sense that you can literally just play Minecraft on your phone, you know, if you don't have a PC or something. So I think that's a pretty cool part about it. Yeah. I also like how with the Bedrock is, I think Pocket Edition is the same language as Bedrock, if I'm thinking about it right. Okay. Yeah. I don't play any of those games. I think I might have played a little bit of Modern Warfare at some of my friends' birthday parties, but and I think I played some GTA as well at one of my friends' birthday parties, but it was like GTA 3. Yeah, wasn't really into that one. I only did it was, I think it was open world. Well, it wasn't open world. It was, I guess it'd be probably considered one of the sandbox modes, because it was just police chases and that was it. Yeah, but that was a fairly unrealistic as far as the cars and everything. The new one with Warzone. Oh, that's um, yeah, yeah. I've watched a little bit of gameplay from that. That's pretty interesting. That's the battle royale, right? Warzone. Yeah. I think that whole battle royale genre is fairly interesting. There's so many different games which have, you know, battle royale stuff. Like even Minecraft, Bed Wars it's not exactly a battle royale, but in some sense it is. I know there's other games on there too. Yeah, but you have Fortnite, PUBG as well, which I've never played either of those either. Yeah, I don't have a very diverse game thing, and then there's a new one out too, isn't there? Yeah, my brother plays the piano. I used to play the piano actually. I still doodle around on it every once in a while. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things have been made free to play for the time being. I know Stadia is doing something where it's like you can get Stadia Pro for like 2 months free or something. This is not sponsored by Stadia, by the way. I'm just saying something I watched on YouTube. Yeah. I know I think it's kind of cool that a lot of game services have made their stuff free or given out like discounts and stuff. Kind of like some streaming services have as well. Yeah. Yeah, but me, I tend to stick to Minecraft pretty exclusively. I do play World of War Tanks though. No, World of Tanks, not World of War Tanks. Thinking World of Warships there. I used to play World of Warships, but I stopped because was wrecking havoc on the on my computer. Sometimes there'd be hard freezes and stuff, and I don't like hard freezes. Yeah. Even though my computer, now that I've done a little bit of optimization on my computer, I could probably do some World of Warships again. But yeah. Yeah. World of Tanks is kind of what I play in my off time. Anytime I'm playing Minecraft now, it's pretty much for content creation purposes, whether it's doing some grinding in between streams or working on episodes. So, yeah. Still only put out 2 episodes on this server on my channel, my new one. So, yeah. Anyway, so what we're doing today, aside from simply chopping down trees, it's oh, what type of shows do I watch? Ooh. Uh, well, there's game shows, so I'll occasionally watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. So yeah, I watch those with my family. I only watch those because my family watches them for the most part. But you know, it's fun to, especially with like Jeopardy. Whenever I'm there with my family, because we'll try to guess some of the stuff before the people do. So Jeopardy's pretty fun. Also, Wheel of Fortune, kind of that same idea. Then aside from that, it's mostly reruns of Star Trek on H&I. So those are my TV shows. I do have Disney Plus, so I'll watch a couple videos on there. Yesterday, just rewatched the first half. No, I only actually watched like the first quarter. Then I had to go to bed. Of Star Wars, the first one ever made, the A New Hope. Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch because I watched The Mandalorian through twice because I really liked that TV show. Well, it wasn't really TV. It's not really a TV show, is it? Because it's only, I don't know, what do you call that? I mean, I guess it's kind of a TV show, but it's not aired on TV. But yeah, The Mandalorian was really cool, and it's kind of, I haven't really watched. I don't think I've even watched A New Hope since I watched Rogue One. So it's really cool to see, to go through again. What I'm going to do one day is like just watch, not binge watch. I'm not really much of a binge watcher, but just watch. Do like, you don't like rewatching shows? Yeah. For most shows, I'm pretty much that way too. I like to, like, if I rewatch something, it has to be, I like it to be after a year since I watched it the last time. Unless it's like something that's new, then I'll watch it again like within a couple months, because there's stuff that I miss out, or that I miss. So it's cool to just go and watch it again and see what I pull out of it the second time watching it. But yeah, I do see what you mean. Rewatching shows can be a little bit, especially if it's all the time. Yeah. But I think whenever a new Star Wars movie comes out, it's like you get this other thing. There's this other part of the saga, and it's like you have, what am I trying to say? You get this this different take, I guess, because whenever the writers are going through, at least most of them, it seems, for the Star Wars movies, even the new ones, they're looking at some of the stuff from the older movies. I mean, and that's kind of like Rogue One. That was heavily, like, they really did their work to try to make it tie in to the start of A New Hope. Well, I have to go. Well, have a good time, and thanks for the follow, Hemington. Hope to see you back here next stream, which will be on Wednesday. At this point, that's what the schedule is. So, and if not, if you have the follower notifications turned on, then you will get that that email, or email, or however you have it set to you. So hope to see you back next time. Yeah. Yeah, so I enjoy rewatching shows every once in a while, especially the Star Wars stuff. But yeah, there's some shows, like even like some of the Star Trek stuff, where it's like, I've seen it, I don't really want to see it again. Yeah. Or if it's like a rerun on H&I, it's like sometimes there'll be one that I just watched, or it feels like that because I don't watch them consistently. So it's like it'll be like the one that I watched 3 times ago, 3 times that I've watched, like, so let's say like what do I like Star Trek, the original Star Trek. It'll be like I'll watch an episode on H&I, and then like 3 months later I'll watch a couple, and then like the third one there will be the same one that I watched the 3 months ago, but for me that's like the 4th episode ago. So it's interesting like that. Out of all the Star Trek, I know people don't really like the Voyager one. I've heard a few people who have complained about the it's not having character development like some of the other ones. Like Picard from the what was that one? Next Generation. He he's a character which you get to know. But I've heard some people who are like, there's just not that same kind of character development in Voyager, and I do kind of see that. But the thing that I like the most about Voyager is that there's a storyline. They're going somewhere. They're doing something with their, they have a mission. It's not like all the other Star Trek series where you can watch it out of order. I mean, for the most part, you'll get some different crew members and stuff. You'll miss some crew members coming on, if you watch Next Generation out of order, or, someone dies, in an episode that you miss. But Voyager, you can actually miss a decent bit, especially at the very beginning and the very end. You miss, if you miss an episode, you've missed a decent bit of, storyline, even though they're only like, were those ones like 30 minutes long, I think? Could have been 40 minutes long. But yeah, it's like you don't have. But I think that what they might have done, and what some people are referring to, is like they focus so much on the plot line of the series as a whole when they're making it, that they didn't spend so much time focusing on the individual characters. I think that might be what it is, but personally, that's kind of, I like that to a sense, where it was going somewhere. There was a clear mission. Their mission was to get home. And in my mind, that actually kind of outweighs and outweighs the lack of character development, because there still was character development. It just wasn't as dense as some of the other Star Trek series. So, yeah. Overall, though, I like Star Trek. I like Star Wars. Yeah. Probably the coolest thing about Star Wars at this point for me is looking at it and being like, wow, that was amazing. The stuff that they put together for the Star Wars movies, because it's like that technology. I don't know if any of you guys have ever looked into what they did with the Star Wars stuff. Like George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, whenever he had this idea to make Star Wars, it was not an easy one. He knew it wasn't going to be easy. Or I don't think he really knew, though, exactly how hard it would be to make what he had envisioned in this Star Wars universe or galaxy. And it's like, no, universe is the appropriate term, I suppose. So yeah, because he went, like, whenever they were producing those movies. So, well, the original episode 1, A New Hope, we now know it as episode 4, was it was a technological marvel in many respects, because they, especially after they went in and painted everything, all the lightsabers and that, because initially all the lightsabers were white, and I think also the laser blast might have been white as well initially. But just all of the rendering stuff that they did, all of the just major technical advancements that they had to make so that they can make this movie Star Wars, it was just insane what they had to do, all the stuff that they had to develop on their own, because no one had ever attempted something like that before. The starship battles and that was all done on, it was new, that the way that they were able to actually like show like ships flying, and it wasn't the like artists drawing it. They had scale models that they were actually like maneuvering through space, and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that I really liked about Star Wars, especially after watching it the first time when I was little. But what really enamored me as a kid was watching the bonus reels and stuff of the Star Wars movies, especially the original 3, and just looking at all of, because in those they talked about all of the technological stuff that they had to do. So George Lucas created several different companies during the production of that first Star Wars movie. They had a lighting company that they made, because there was a lot of complicated lighting stuff that went into that first movie. When you think about anytime that you're doing anything with stop motion stuff, I don't think they really did stop motion in there, but with those shots of your scale models moving around, like the bombing runs again, or the trench run is what I'm thinking of, on the Death Star, that was done using scale models, which is insane to think about. But they had, that takes a lot of really complicated lighting, especially if you're not shooting it in a dark room. You have to really be able to do a bunch of fancy stuff with lighting with that. They had a bunch of sound effects and stuff that they made for their movie. Trying to think. There's one, the laser blasts. I think that those were actually recorded off, like the audio for that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was actually recorded by using, they went out, they just, they had people who just went out and looked for sounds that they could use, right? And I think like the R2-D2 sound one of the R2D2 sounds, I think, is literally, it's a flock of birds is the actual sound. They might have like changed some of the balance in the audio, but it's a flock of birds essentially. And it's like, really? To think that beeping noise that sounds like beeping to us out of context is actually, birds. And it's like wow. Um, but and then the laser blasts, I think that sound effect, at least one of the ones that they use for them, came from tension wires. So you know how they have in really tall towers that are for like radio masts and stuff like that. How they have tensioning wires are called, I think they're called guy wires, and those. So they went up to one of those, right? And they held a microphone to the wire because they're wondering what it would sound like. It's essentially a giant guitar string, right? A giant metal guitar string. So they went up to it, they held a microphone up to it, and then they hit it with I think it was like a wrench or something. And there's that sound. And, I've actually done that myself, not with those towers, but I think it was with like a power pole cable. And I actually did that. I was like, wow, that actually does kind of sound like that. It's like they just took these sounds. They went to all these ingenious places. They didn't have the same kind of technology like nowadays where you can just sit down at a computer and make a sound. That wasn't really a thing back then that they could do. Then another thing with that in the movie in the I actually just found this out yesterday from my dad, but whenever I was watching the movie again, in that in A New Hope, that first scene where you see Princess Leia and she's putting the disc into R2D2, that was a CD, right? In real life, that prop that they used was a CD. Essentially, that's what it was. And at the time of that movie, people didn't know what a CD was. CDs were newer technology. They weren't, brand new, but they were being used in, by professional stuff only. They were pretty much reserved for use in the professional market and not for, you couldn't, it wasn't wholesale, I guess is probably the best way to say it. CDs weren't wholesale at the time. So for a bunch of people watching that movie, that was new. That was really cool to think you could have something like that, plans like that or whatever, on a disc. And then they're like, a couple years later, I don't know if it was even years later, it might have been less than years later, it might have been really soon afterwards. They find out, wow, that's an actual thing. I just think that's interesting. To be like, they didn't only, make up these really cool looking ships, that would catch the eye, but of the viewer, but they also looked at stuff that we can find in our world. People can find their backyards, or in their office, and go pull things from that, to make this movie out of. I mean, that could have been partially from, just wanting to save some budget money, but I think it was also just something that, would be seen as like innovative in a way. And that's one thing which I think the modern movie industry is kind of missing. And also one of the reasons why I like The Mandalorian so much is because they kind of went back, in The Mandalorian, they went back to that sort of idea of you have a real set. to an extent. There's a real set that you have, and I'm about to die to a skeleton here if I don't speed up this process. That was a close one. Yeah, so anyways, having all of that, stuff made up, they didn't just try to innovate everything. It was a mix of what do we already have and what's new. What can we do that's new? I mean, honestly, as a YouTube content creator, there's some of that going on too. For like me, I have to try to, and as a streamer, I have to try to figure out, something that's new to an extent, because otherwise I'd end up being like every other streamer out there. So maybe I draw a little, maybe that's where some of my thoughts about that come from. But it makes something that I enjoy it, right? Even now, years, decades, several decades after the first movie comes out, I can sit here. We're surrounded with all this stuff where it's, if you want to make a movie, you can literally at this point make a movie from open source stuff, pretty much. If you want to just go and hijack, every single like stuff, if you ever seen any like mods on like the Steam Workshop or anything like that, for like other games, or like they'll have like all their characters. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because it allows people to actually create stuff without the stress of having to create all of the assets and everything. But you can, you see it on there. It's like they're using the stuff in one mod that you see in another one that you see in another one, because it is the same stuff. Or games too. There's some of that going around with games. You'll hear, I think it's Unity. There's like a Unity asset store, I think. If I'm thinking it right, or maybe not. But, and again, I'm not saying it's wrong to do this, but people go around and whenever they're making their games, and especially for a new creator, it makes it a lot easier to already have some of those assets built in to your development stuff. So yeah, it just takes some of the burden off of you to get your feet off the ground, so that you can set aside more time to making games and that. But you'll see, like in some games, how there's, you'll see one asset used in one game, and then that same asset is used in a different game. And you're like, wait, isn't that from this one game? Well, no, really, it's just a open source asset, or it's a, asset which you can purchase the rights to use in making a game or something like that. And that can be like a character model, structure model, AI set. AI sets are a lot harder to figure out, though, if someone's borrowing that from something else. Yeah, I've never been able to figure that out. But that's another discussion. AI sets, they can be difficult to write. I've never tried, but I've done enough research that, yeah, they can be hard if you're new to it. Yeah, so I think it's interesting how you have, Star Wars was one of those things where they went in, they made the movies, and at least at first, it was all new. The technology and stuff was newer. So you look at stuff, in the old movies, you're like, oh, that's like weird. Like, why would they do something like that? And it's like, and then like you look at it with a different point of view, where it's like, wow, that was all that they had, and they made that themselves. When you think about that, they're like the pioneers. And Star Trek had to do some of the same kind of stuff. Like, I think, yeah, Star Trek, the holodeck. All right? That holodeck thing in Star Trek, you know, where people go in and they can have this, you know, totally virtual reality or adventure, whatever, you know, story. The holodeck, I think, was only like 2 feet cubed. Or like it was 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. So it's really 8 feet cubed, I think. And that was it. And all the reason that it looked like they were actually in it was that the actors were actually in it is because of the camera angle that they used. You know, so that in itself is kind of a, you know, that's an ingenious thing in all and of itself. So Star Trek had some of that same kind of stuff, where they were, you know, they took stuff from other things, or they had to invent things. Sorry, not take stuff from other stuff. I'm sure that they did. You know, everyone kind of borrows. Like, I'm sure you didn't have to make your own camera, you know, at that point. They might have, but, you know, using a camera that was already productions, whatever. But yeah, this is an interesting thing to talk about. If you guys have thoughts, you can put them in the comments too. And yeah. And if you get timed out for saying something, don't freak out too much, because as we've already experienced today, auto mod is, I'm a little unfamiliar with it. So I erred on the side of caution and set things really high, but that may not be the best. That may not actually be the most cautious option. When you ban people for, or when auto mod times someone out for talking about schoolwork. Jeez. That's funny. It's fine though. If that happens, then I'll make sure to not just let auto mod destroy you, and I'll actually try to figure it out. Yeah, that's one thing I like about the fact that I didn't get uber popular all at once on Twitch, is because we can work through the growing pains without my chat being super full, not super full. Ugh. Oh yeah, I was writing something earlier today, right? I was writing down a description of something, and I was constantly, like, my brain just couldn't make up. Okay, so this is kind of funny. So I watch a lot of Hermitcraft, okay? And, you know, there's British people and there's, you know, there's a lot of British people on there. Well, there's 2 different ways of saying gray, and there's also 2 different ways of writing gray. Okay? So you can say gray as gray, you know, like is really common in America, or gray. Okay, maybe not much of a difference there, right? But whenever you write it, there's a difference. And that is, the American spelling for gray is Gray. Okay? And that's what, you know, I live in America. I'm supposed to be using that spelling, right? For whenever I'm writing something formal. And I would always be typing it in Grey, which is the English spelling, which is kind of weird to say. It's the British spelling of, the Queen's English spelling of gray. Something which might contribute to that is also that I just finished up a Shakespeare class last semester and was using it as a literature course, which was pretty interesting. I have to actually say that I enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but I did enjoy it. And yeah, it was actually pretty cool. But I was, you know, so it's like that thing where it's like, I mean, at one point I was just about to give up, but like I was like, okay, you know what? It's not wrong to write gray as the, you know, Grey. But then I was like, you know, no, I just simply because this is formal. The main problem was where it's like I was using the two different spellings. Like it was bad. I actually probably should have gone back through again and specifically checked to make sure that I had changed all of the Grey grays to Gray grays. Um, yeah, I actually had to look that up because I could not make up my mind because I was writing it in Word, and Word recognizes both spellings of gray as being correct. So I was like, which is good. That's a good thing that they do. Um, and so I was looking. Yeah, I had to look it up because I was like, why is it not correcting me? And then I looked up gray, and I was like, what? Like, why is I looked up both different ones, and I was like, wait, why is it not like trying to like auto correct me to like write like the right spelling of gray? And I was like, wait, this is supposed to be, wait, no. And then I scrolled down a little bit and I saw this page that, and I read a little bit of it because I saw both spellings of gray in it, in the name of it. And so I looked at it, I was like, oh, so it can be spelled either way. Yeah. So I thought that was odd. That was just that's the highlight of my day, is that. And it's actually really interesting for how much I dislike English classes, studying English and studying literature, and that how I really actually appreciate those little differences between languages. And I'm like, it's just interesting. It's like I like those subtle differences. I mean, it may not be subtle. To me, it's subtle because it's said the same way, and I almost threw my axe away. Speaking of away. But I mean, to me, it's a subtle difference. I'm not a stickler for, spelling, because I can't spell anything really. I'm studying Spanish on my own right now. I took 2 years of it in high school, but I've just started this summer. One of my goals is to actually get, decent at Spanish. And that's just because at work, that's probably the, second language I'm the most likely to run into. And I've also been to Spain. So it's like, yeah, I've been to Spain. I might want to go back again someday. So why not just learn Spanish and, still learn it. I do intend to learn German as well. And that's because mostly of history stuff. Because World War II is one of my major interests as far as history is concerned. And also my family is from Germany. From before World War II, or from before World War One. It was like right after the U.S. Civil War. My surname part of my family, so that's direct descendants, direct line of male descendants, moved over from Germany about, I think for me, like 4 generations ago. And yeah, so my name's actually from Germany. I'm not going to say it on stream, because I don't really want to give that kind of information out on stream, or on YouTube for that. That's information I consider personal information. And if you know me in real life, then you probably know my last name or you've heard it. But this is online. You don't need to know my last name, except that it's from Germany, and that's fine. So, yeah. But anyways, that's one of the reasons I want to learn German too, is in case I want to go to Germany at some point and maybe find out where my family name's from. Or go there. This tree is being stubborn. and then it punches me into the ground whenever it finally does grow. Wow, that's a insubordinate tree. We must. It's going to be court-martialed. Actually, it was just chopped down. Never mind. It doesn't need to be court-martialed. Insubordinate tree. Some days. Yeah. So there's other languages I might learn. I'd probably just leave it at Spanish and German, but I will say I'm much more interested in learning Spanish than I am German at this point because it's more applicable. I feel like it's more applicable, at least to me, in this time of my life. So, yeah. And also that way, because English is technically more of a Germanic language, where the in other words, like the language style is fairly similar. So, for me learning German, there's not a whole lot of like enunciation differences. I mean, you have a little bit different. You have like the Esset, which is, if you are familiar with like math symbols and stuff, the Esset looks like a beta, from the Greek letter beta, the capital one, the capital Greek letter beta. But it's not, because it's called an Esset. But what it is, it looks like, so if you're not familiar with it, it looks like a B, the letter B, the capital the capital Latin letter, which we use, or English uses the Latin alphabet. So does German for the most part, and Spanish for the most part. Actually, Spanish entirely uses the Latin alphabet, but yeah, so it uses, so the Esset is essentially, it looks like the English or the Latin capital B, but it has an extended, it has the vertical part extends downwards below the letter, which is one reason that I don't really like a lot of writing in script, is because they'll add little things onto it, to make it all decorated. But like something like with B, if someone's like writing a capital B, in a script, which is essentially just fancy writing, then, if someone from like Germany looks at it, they're like, well, you just used, someone who's like first language German, or maybe they're thinking in their German brain right then. I know how that is, where it's like you're learning a language and then you're like, you get stuck in that whenever like you read a bunch of stuff in the language you're learning, and then you get stuck in that language and your brain's just trying to pronounce everything how it would in that language, in whatever language it is. So like if someone's like, thinking of it, they just finished reading German or whatever, they're going to think, if they're reading that in script, they're going to be like, that's a S, or if you're like me, you're like, why did you just use the letter beta? Because I'm in engineering and I'm always in that math brain for the most part, or that physics brain or something like that. I'm like, why did you just use beta? You're writing in script, I know, so it's probably a B, but it's confusing. Writing in script. I'm not saying you can't write in script. There are some script hands that I actually really do like. I just don't write in script myself, because my problem is I'll confuse myself if I start writing fancy letters that look like symbols. Like a W can look like an omega, which is not pronounced. If I see a W in the middle of a word, but that W looks like an omega, I'm like, why is there a random omega in the middle of this word? And I'll just get stuck and have no clue why. Yeah. The lowercase omega. The uppercase omega I get. Well, I don't know why you would use that. whenever you're trying to write an English word, because that doesn't look like any Latin letters that are in existence. But yeah. If we can try to land on this, I'm talking way too much to try to even think about landing on a tree right now, apparently. All right, let's focus on this real quick, and then we'll come back to our linguistics discussion. Yeah, but I've looked into, like, I just, it's something I appreciate doing, especially with one of my friends at St. Martin's. He speaks Bengali, and I think at least a little bit of it. I think he's pretty decent at Bengali. He just doesn't speak in it very much. I think he knows a little bit of Arabic as well. But it's just interesting looking at that especially the differences between like the Eastern language set and the Western language set. The Western language set, pretty much every country in Europe, their language uses the Latin, or unless you're in like Eastern Europe, in the Russian area, the Baltic states and that, then those languages use different alphabets. But in Central, Western, and I think even Southern Europe, a lot of those languages, I think all of them actually really, use the Latin alphabet, right? And it's pretty uniform. There are some differences, like the essay or the esset in German, like I was talking about, or things like the enye in Spanish, or and so there are some differences, but they're not huge differences really. But in the Eastern languages, I'm talking like Middle East and stuff like that, and also like Southern Asia. Oh no, those languages are actually just completely different too. But in the yeah, so like I think South Central Asia, and then the Middle East, and I think some of like Northern Africa falls into this too. The alphabets, there's similarities and stuff, but they're not the same. So like certain letters in one alphabet will look the same, almost identical, or even sometimes completely identical to letters in another alphabet, but they will be pronounced totally differently and be used in a totally different way. Whereas in the Romantic and Germanic languages, or the languages that use the Latin alphabet, the letters are pronounced kind of how they look. Or not look, sorry, but how they're used in every language. They're kind of, in pretty much every language set, they're used the same way as far as the sounds go. In English, the letter, I will say D, right? We in English, we would say D. The sound it makes is D, right? In Spanish, it's called a de. De is how that's spelled in English. De. And then it's like, you have, there's that letter, and it's used in the same way. They're in both Spanish and English. As far as the sound goes, it has the same phonetic sound to it when it's spoken with. It is softer normally. That's one thing about Spanish opposed to English, is that the language tends to be softer as far as it's spoken. You don't, like, for T, it's not t. It's like it is in English. It's mostly like a t. Like it's lighter on the tongue. That's what I'm trying to go with. And I think that's a similarity with, I think that's actually a thing with most Romantic languages, actually, opposed to the Germanic ones. So Romantic means it's Latin based, or at least that's how like the enunciation is based. Germanic means it's more of the originating from the German language family. So Romantic languages, if you're not familiar, are things like French, Italian, Spanish. Those are that. Um, Germanic languages are German. Namely German. Then also the countries surrounding Germany. I'm having such a hard time right now thinking of names. I think Swiss is technically a Germanic language. Um, Denmark, Dutch, is that no, Dutch is not Denmark. Dutch. This is testing my skills. This is testing my memory here. Um, yeah, I don't remember where Dutch is. Netherlands is a Dutch is from the Netherlands, I think, and that's a Germanic language. I'm pretty sure. English is kind of interesting. So, English is a mix of a Spanish. No, so English is more of a Germanic language. The grammar, sentence structure is very much Germanic, but the the time or the specific the words though. One thing about Germanic language is that things tend to be described as very objective, where it is an object or there's not as much, there's less words like the verbs. So, like to do something. There's not, or no, sorry, it is more of a to do something instead of like a feeling kind of thing. It's like sad. That's not necessary. I think there is a German word for sad, but it's not. Jeez. Yeah, so it's like Germanic languages tend to be a little bit more of a objective language where it's focused more on accurately describing, a thing, whereas the Romantic languages tend to, kind of as their name implies, aside from the fact that it's not really what it's meant for or meant to mean, but it kind of sounds like it from an English standpoint at the very least. The Romantic languages tend to include words, I should say, that represent more of emotional things than just the objects and stuff. I guess maybe like you could see as being maybe more of a personable language, but it's not. I mean, not quite that simple. Language isn't simple. That's one thing. If you're studying anything about language isn't simple. Don't forget that. That'll get you a ways. Um, Especially if you're learning a language from a different language set than what you speak yourself. Um, so, anyways, yeah. But English brings in a lot of the sentence structure and grammar aspects from German, while also importing, you could say, some of the language aspects from the Romantic languages, or some words from the Romantic languages, just so that it complements the word selection and gives you words that mean things that you wouldn't really see. Or I'm experiencing some lag right now. At least I think that was lag, or it's just me like not looking at my computer screen enough to actually see every detail about what was happening. But so jeez, I keep talking about different things, and then I like forget what I was just talking about. You can tell that I've done a lot of thinking about this, and that's one thing about my work is I walk around a lot alone, and I think or I talk out loud to myself a lot. So this is essentially that, but I'm trying to recall a conversation that I had with myself from before. It's not working so well. Yeah. So anyways, the language sets are different. Yeah, so English is a fairly good starting language if you're going to be learning, or if you're planning on learning any of the European languages for the most part. Again, aside from the Eastern countries, Eastern European countries, Baltic states, and I think also the Norwegian states are different. So that's Sweden, Norway, and Scandinavian Peninsula. That's right. The Scandinavian countries. That's right. They're not called Norwegian. They're called. Actually, that might be their language set. Might be called that, but their geographic location is the Scandinavian Peninsula. I think that one might also be a separate from. I know it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not classified as Germanic, but as far as like, the ability to easily learn it, I think if you speak English, you're at a good starting place for German, Dutch, and Spanish, sorry, Italian, French, and those languages, the Romantic and the Germanic languages, and that's just because English incorporates different styles from both language sets. So that's also why there's so many cognates, or words which sound similar in English, for example, since that's more the specific example that we're using, and Spanish for another example. So that's what it, and that's one of those things that helps you to learn the other languages. You can kind of look at, the cognates, the words that sound similar in both languages. And I'm trying to think of one that wasn't because it was simply imported over. So there's two words for car in Spanish. For example, at least that I've learned. So there's two different ones, right? You have auto, which is kind of your general car. That's referring to, any car for the most part, I think, or any really like wheeled vehicle. In fact, I think is what that really refers to. But then you have carro, right? And that's Carro. And those those are both cognates, right? In English, if we say auto or auto, right? Well, that's a word that we use to refer to cars, right? Auto shop, or we'll say like automotive a lot of the times as well. But then there's also, I said carro, right? Well, for us, car, that sounds like car. Or for English, that sounds like car. And it is, it's pretty similar, even in spelling. Just like auto or auto. Also, oh great, ouch, that was, I fell. Yep, that's what that was, folks. We're gonna go to bed and not bone meal the grass if we can help it. Yeah, so sorry, phantoms are interrupting our language lecture for today. Yeah. So anyways, there's that. Yeah, so that's kind of what a cognate is. This is not what I was planning on talking about today at all. But I wasn't at the same time. I wasn't really planning on talking about anything in particular. So, yeah. I hope it's enjoyable and doesn't remind you too much of school if you don't like school. As you can tell, I have a decent appreciation for it. So, anyways, yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to think about, the similarities between different languages. Yeah, and it's one of the other interesting things is whenever I was in Spanish class, when I was actually taking my Spanish class, I was less motivated to actually like learn to try in when I was doing Spanish class. But now that I'm studying it on my own, I have no problem finding motivation, which is another interesting thing. It was like in high school, whenever I had to read Shakespeare, I was like, oh, Shakespeare, wow, this is like intuitive. But now it's like I actually have an appreciation for it. Maybe it's because I've actually like, you know, maybe it's because I actually am interested in learning about languages and stuff and actually analyzing the differences between Old English, like not like Queen's English, but Shakespearean English, and modern English, either in the Queen's English sense or the American English sense. It's been interesting to, to study that. So it's odd. And if you're thinking right now, why doesn't this guy like just dump engineering and become a linguist? Isn't that a lot easier? I have a little bit of a passion. And so this is me. I'm calling this a little bit of a passion for linguistics, okay? But I have more for engineering. It's just, I find I tend to bore people whenever I talk about engineering. Considering that I can bore my own classmates whenever I talk about it. And that's, yeah, I hope that this isn't a boring one. I'm certainly practicing my voice inflections today, though. That's for sure. Anyways, I should probably drink some water real quick because I've been talking a lot. I also forgot how much time has gone by. We've been at this for, I want to say an hour and a half. An hour 40 minutes, actually, I think. It's crazy. We're almost done with this, so whenever we finish up these two axes that I brought with me, we'll be done. And yes, that is a lot of axes that we need to burn through today. It's 2 axes that don't have efficiency 5, which makes it a lot. If I had efficiency 5 on them, then that'd be different. That'd be easier. But no, it would be quicker, not easier. It'd still be difficult, but it might be a little more difficult because I would miss things on my way down in the jungle trees, for example. But I think the haste beacon seems to be helping. Yeah. If I did have efficiency 5, though, I don't think haste would really do anything because I think that that's the max break speed for wood is efficiency 5 on an axe. Unless I had mining fatigue, which I do not have because I have no intent on ever having the mining fatigue effect ever. Hello there. Oh, you're building a pyramid in the chat? Yeah, I don't have that enabled. Sorry, but I could enable that. Hello, Let me think. So this takes me a second to read names for the first time. So SRGFS or SRGFSG Sir, I'm gonna say. Oh man, names. How are you doing today? I have been talking about. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me see. Oh, Squid Elements. Did I have Squid Elements banned? Oh, it was emotes. Okay. Yeah, it's um I'll probably end up changing that after the stream. Yeah, there's I think the limit for emotes. Like I don't know. This is I'm still used to stream. Don't worry about it if you get timed out for putting something in chat emotes and stuff. Um yes, one emote is fine. I think 4 emotes shouldn't have any issues with up to 4 emotes. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just what, yeah. I'm new to the whole auto mod thing, so it's yeah, and I don't have any other mods online at the moment to look at it, but that's fine. I figure my stream is small enough that I don't need to. I can take care of all of the issues myself for the most part. Yeah, if we get over here. Oh, I fell. Oh no. But anyways, how are you doing today? Aside from the accidental ban on the auto mod. Um, yeah. Yep, 4 emotes is okay. Okay. Good to know. Oh, come on. Can I not? Oh, that's taking too long. Let's just do this. There we go. Perfect. Yep. All right. I get distracted for a sec, and then I just like walk off a tree, and it's like, wow, why? I'm doing this this tree chopping I stream. Yeah. Uh, you just came from a guy that had chat to speak. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't have that kind of stuff set up on my stream. Yeah. Might do a little bit of that later once I start utilizing the channel point system a little bit more. But yeah, it was weird. Yeah. Yeah, if I ever put that on my streams, it won't be the entire chat because my thing is if I get 2 or 3 people chatting at the same time, then it would probably just become an absolute mess. I mean, it would be interesting, but yeah. I mean, that's probably what makes that guy's stream unique. So, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, but everyone's got their own thing, and there's plenty of streams on YouTube or YouTube. This is not YouTube, is it? This is Twitch. Um, so used to just saying YouTube as well. Yeah, I was actually just talking about some linguistic stuff. One of my interests. I don't want to say hobbies. I don't want to say hobbies at all, but probably one of my interests is linguistics. I say that I'm an engineer, really, or studying to become an engineer. But yeah, just talking about differences between Germanic and Romantic languages. So Germanic languages, Dutch, English technically is a Germanic language because of the grammar structure, even though it incorporates both elements of Romantic and Germanic languages. And then romantic languages would be like Italian, French, Spanish, and it's based on their grammar style and their word styles. But yeah. Anyways, this whole log chopping ordeal is for restocking my log shops. So I actually have two. One of them is right here, that building, which is beautiful and made out of dark oak. I like dark oak. But I'm trying to move away from it a little bit. So like my new log shop's a spruce-based shop instead of dark oak. Trying to expand my horizons a little bit as far as textures of wood and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, so my log shops, this one's getting there as far as how full it is, but I'm having issues with the oak, birch, and acacia stock. Oh yeah, acacia is an interesting linguistics discussion, which I have not really delved into too much. If it's said as acacia or achacha, you know how it's said. Yeah, that's an interesting discussion to have. But I don't really know enough about the language or languages that acacia is what I call it. That word comes from, so I don't really know what the right way of pronouncing it is. Yeah. Oh, just trees squishing me a little bit there. That's fine. We'll survive. This is Minecraft. Oh, looks like there's a unfortunate subject on the railroad. I'm sorry, but the train unfortunately must continue to roll, or else there is product loss. This isn't the first time I've done this, by the way. This isn't the first time I've done this on the stream, in fact. Yep, sorry, cat. It had to happen. But, yeah. No, cats get on the minecart track, and then they stop up the collection system, and then I start losing saplings, and then I get sad because I have to go out and find more trees. Yeah, sad face. I know. Yeah. I have a cat in real life, or my family does. So it's like, yeah. I wouldn't, that's one of those things is like, I would never do it in real life, but like, it's just like a necessity almost here. Yeah. Yep. Tear emotes for the cat. Yeah. No, if there was an easier way to remove them, I might, but you know, it's just so convenient that I just happen to be able to one-shot them with my bow, which I totally found out by accident. No, I didn't really find that out by accident. That was trial and error that found that one out. Yeah. I actually like cats, which is a crazy thing. It's just that this is a game and nuisance. Asterisks? I don't know what asterisks mean. Yeah. Anyway, so cat aside, yeah, it's a major operation to restock log shops, unfortunately. A skelly farm for bone meal. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, no. Skelly farm for bone meal. Yeah, I do have bone meal. And it's not from a skeleton farm, it's from just a general mob farm. that's actually, it's okay. The design which I used for it, it's so old school. It is absolutely classic. This is a pre-dispenser design modified with trapdoors. Like, it is probably the OG passive hostile mob, or it's probably the OG, um, like the original mob farm, like hostile mob farm at least. So yeah, that's what's producing all of the bones that I've been using. Aside from the seeds, I have villagers out there, and I pick up seeds because the farmer villagers' inventories are full. So so they just drop everything, all the wheat, all the seeds just get dropped. So that's the other place that I get stuff like that from. But we are running a little low on our Fortune 3 axe here, so. Yep. So we have a Silk Touch axe now, which means we will start collecting some leaves. Another thing which we're stocking in the shop, not just logs and saplings and stripped logs and wood, but Bob Ross, yes. Then I don't know what the other emote is. Yeah, the emotes pop up really small on my other screen, and I'm not very familiar with the default Twitch emotes either. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, it takes a lot of wood to restock these. Yeah. Yeah, that's the same reason why I watch other small streamers as well. And it's for that same reason. Being able to interact with the community and stuff. It's really cool. That's the one thing I actually started YouTube in 2016, while I was still in high school, and that I got into periods of burnout and stuff. I had regular viewers, but there wasn't like, uh, you know, not many people would comment on my videos, and I wanted that kind of a, I wanted to be able to chat with my viewers and stuff, people who I don't necessarily know in real life, and I do like talking to people I know in real life, but I want to talk with the people who enjoy my content, and then so I went through stages of burnout where I just wouldn't create anything for several months at a time. Then I'd come back, and actually put time back into it and stuff. But one thing that I really like about doing the Twitch stuff is it makes the grind easier. This is a grindy project, one that if I wasn't streaming, it would be a lot more boring. I mean, I'll listen to music, watch other streams on YouTube, but eventually that stuff runs out. There's only so many streams. So, thank you for the follow, by the way. And see you later. Hopefully, I will catch you in my next stream on Wednesday, so 2 days from now. It should be around the same time as it is tonight. It might be I think it'll be 2 hours later, so it might start at 6 instead of at 4. Yeah. But anyways, thank you for the follow. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I suffered from burnout for a little bit, and then I got back into content creation on Twitch. And yep, see ya. So, yeah, and I really enjoy it. partly because of this whole thing where, I can talk to the chat. I get people. It's not many people, and I kind of like that in a way, where I can just talk to people, and just hang out, chill. I mean, the title of this stream, in particular, is literally just, uh, you know, chilling and chopping trees. Uh, so yeah, that's one of the things I really like about Twitch. Um, but yeah, it makes the grind a lot easier. So this would be a project. I mean, this restock project has taken me hours. Like, I think this is my second stream. The last stream was like 2.5 hours long, I think. And this stream has already been almost 2 hours long itself. And then outside of streams, I spent, I think, another 2 hours probably on the project as well, on the restock project. So, that's really probably the favorite thing about being on Twitch is that, I can interact with my community on here, and I can also, you guys kind of see what it's like doing content creation stuff, too, if any of you guys are interested. Because, I mean, why was I ever interested in content creation? Is because I watched other people's stuff. And I really wish that at first I would have known about, some of the content creators who I watch now who actually talk about, how, not necessarily like the, checkbox steps of how to make good content, because I don't think that those are really a thing. And a bunch of the people I watch don't think those are really a thing. Where it's like, you have to have this, you have to have, I mean, there's certainly are some, there is some of that, where, you have to have some kind of recording software. You have to have some kind of a platform to produce your content on. Those are the musts, right? And like even an artist needs somewhere to show their art. If that's Facebook, that's fine. Whatever works, especially when you're getting started. A lot of it is getting the motivation to actually continue. So yeah, it's it's all about motivation and stuff as well. You have to enjoy the content that you're doing, that you're making, which is one reason why doing it on the Twitch stuff is so much better than just doing YouTube alone. But having a mix is where I really am enjoying these live streams. Even though not many people do chat, like I said earlier, that's almost a benefit because I can actually chat with the, people. It's not, oh wait, I need to replant some more saplings. No, it is that I need to replant more saplings. And I missed the landing too. Man, that was about to be so cool. I was about to just stick that landing there. Yeah, that was about to be great. Yeah, so I'm pretty thrilled, honestly, how this has worked out so far. One of the cool things too is that it makes my time more productive, I feel, because if I was doing this without, doing the stream with it, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be creating content really. I'd be prepping to make content, but I wouldn't actually be making content. But by doing the stream, I'm making content. People are enjoying it. I mean, clearly you guys have stuck around so far, so there's something good about what I'm doing, I guess. Yeah. So I enjoy it. It makes it much more enjoyable to me, and because I enjoy it more, that normally means, at least not necessarily all the time, that the viewer of the content enjoys it more too, because I'm more interested in it. I keep, I'm interested in it, So it makes me more excited, is probably the best term to use, about creating the content. Um, so yeah, that's one thing about my older stuff, or when before, if I was making YouTube videos, I always like start out the recording session like, really, I would have, some energy in my voice, but by the end of the recording, that energy would be pretty much gone. Uh, but with the streams, I found I'm able to keep up, energy, throughout the entire stream. I don't get, tired. Well, I do get tired because, this is at the end of my day. Most of the time, sometimes not. Sometimes I actually, in all the streams I've done so far, it's been near the end of my day. But, in that case, if it is near the end of my day, then it helps to wear me out before I go to bed. Just finish me off. But it's, it helps me to actually enjoy what I do. So, yeah. And that's one of the things I appreciate all of the viewers, as well. So I appreciate all you guys. Even if you're not commenting for whatever, or for any reason, a lot of streams I don't comment, at first. So normally it'll be like second or third stream watching the person that'll comment, or even like follow them. So for you guys who do comment, thank you. But if not, that is, honestly, that's awesome, because that means that you guys are actually thinking about what you're doing. I'm not saying that people who do comment on the first stream know or don't know what they are doing, but everyone has their own comfort level, and if you guys are operating in your comfort level, that's right. If I wasn't comfortable making these streams, I wouldn't be making them. In fact, I think maybe even a year ago, I wouldn't have been comfortable making streams. Yep. It's a good way of getting real with people too, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. Yeah. I appreciate it that you guys are watching, and yeah. Changing topics now. Forcibly changing topics. To the sound of leaves breaking. Leaves. This is literally how I come up with topics to talk about at this point. Unless it's brought up in the comments, it's like leaves are things that plants have. Did you know pine needles, okay, on pine trees, coniferous trees and stuff, those are leaves. Pine needles are actually technically considered leaves. And that's because of what they do. A leaf is more a description of like what something does, more so than, oh, looks like we need to go restock shops now. Yay, we can head out of the area for a minute here. So yeah. Yeah, a leaf is more based off of, at least my understanding of how it's classified. That's not a perfect understanding by any means. But to my understanding, how a leaf is classified as being a leaf is that it is, it's, it's something which produces the energy, jeez, I wanted to call it a photosynthetic cell, but it's called a solar panel for all of you guys who weren't, or who aren't familiar with that term. No, that's photovoltaic cell. I don't know what a photosynthetic cell would be. I think I've heard that term, but it's photovoltaic is what I'm trying to think of. or was what I meant. But no, photovoltaic cell is a solar panel. Leaves on trees are not exactly solar panels, if you haven't noticed. But they do serve somewhat of a similar function. Is why I was thinking that. It's so shulker box. If you are Ijevin, then it is a shocker box. And I totally see why it's called a shocker box in that case. Because why not? That's another thing. Oh, no, we're not going back to linguistics. Sorry, guys. If you wanted me to go back to linguistics, it's not going to happen today. My brain is burned out on the linguistic stuff. Yeah. No. It was a good talk. But there's only so much of that my brain can handle at one given point in time. We have a full shulker box. Almost a full shulker box of jungle wood now. So can we fill it? I highly doubt it. No, we can't fill it. But we do have quite a decent store of jungle wood now. And that is something which is fully stocked in this shop here. So we're going to dump all these saplings off now. Leaves. Sticks, we're not stocking the other shop yet. Alright, let's grab all this stuff which I know we aren't going to be putting into restock materials for this shop. Alright, those ones are good. Let's grab ourselves the rest of these now. There we go. All right, let's go restock this shop really quick. Or stock. It's like initial stocking still for some of these wood types. Look at this, all of you people on the server. There's actually acacia wood now, and oh, guess what, guys? There is actually there's been those two types of wood. There is actually oak wood now. Wow, you can actually buy oak wood for 1 diamond per stack. I know it's steep, but if you knew it took me 6 hours to get all this, then yeah. And then you say that my farm design's inefficient, which it is. It is truly an inefficient farm design. It is like the definition of time inefficiency, but certainly not resource inefficiency, being that I'm making positive gain on dark oak saplings. That's a huge deal. Like, really it is. That's probably the biggest deal in Minecraft right now, is the fact that I can produce a positive surplus of dark oak saplings. Because Alright, I think any farm style design which can produce a surplus, so you're gaining saplings from dark oak, is huge. Absolutely huge, because like dark oak is the sapling dropping percentage. I don't know if it was altered in the last version of Minecraft, so this could be a somewhat outdated thing, concern, but in my experience, it's a pretty difficult wood to actually gain saplings, end up with a net gain. But that farm can do it. And we'll see when I go over to my shop. I actually have dark oak saplings stocked in my other shop. They're not for sale yet because they don't have prices out. Which, by the way, if anyone on the server, any of the people whitelisted on my server, if you're watching this, you can assume in my shops, if there's not a price posted, okay, this is only if there's not a price posted, the stacks each stack is going to be worth 1 diamond at the very least, or the most expensive. So if you are really in dire need of a material, like a certain type of sapling, and you come in here, you're like, oh, well, I need jungle saplings, but there's no price. 1 diamond is enough. I'm not going to charge, at least in this shop, I'm not going to charge more than 1 diamond per stack. Oh, great. All right, so this is where we get where it gets interesting, guys. So as you can see, we've now fully stocked the normal jungle wood. And in fact, we actually need to take 1 stack out of here for the price whenever we put prices in it. So what we do now is we take all of these, right? And we do this. You're like, well, that's a waste of wood. Not if you're going to sell it next. Not if you're going to sell it. It's not a waste. So like that. Yep, and like I say, this is not a waste because I'm going to be making some bank off of this. If you're a fan of using that term. Nope, can't craft a chest that way. Chests have to be crafted this way. And this is going to just be a storeroom back here, by the way. So that chest is going to go there. That's going to store extra wood. At this point, that's going to store extra wood that hasn't been converted over yet. That was 1 whole shulker box of wood. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that doesn't mean we can just stop farming jungle wood, unfortunately. We have to fill up all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this, and all of this. And that's for leaves, by the way. I think I said that earlier, didn't I? Probably did. Oh well. You get stocked with the dark oak. And spruce is over here. Yeah. We have so much more jungle wood than any other kind of wood. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely insanity. Acacia leaves will go in there. Jungle and spruce. So spruce leaves in there. Jungle leaves in here. Jungle sapling. Well, I have every kind of sapling, I'm sure. Jungle saplings, dark oak saplings, oak saplings, birch saplings, spruce saplings, and these acacia saplings. Oh, I have more wood. Birch, stripped logs go in here. There's a pattern, which is how I have it memorized already, where all these kinds of things go. Oh! Yeah, we can go in and give a precursor to that. That's fine. To stocking that. That was supposed to... Actually, no, we're going to head back over there, so we'll bring that back with us. That was not supposed to go over here yet. I should actually check my phone. Care about those. All these text messages, man. I don't need them right now. There. And while we're over here, we should check a shop out real quick. This one. My stone shop. There's a creeper hole there. Which probably should be fixed at some point. This front entrance used to be a creeper hole. Because I wandered in here one day, and then explodey things happened. No sales. And, by the way, I actually do get sales on that, so... Yeah, don't complain that I made a shop that's, like, worthless. I've made a couple diamonds off of it. Not many. It's not worth the diamond ore that I put into it, into decoration of the shop yet, but... No, it is, because I sold sugarcane off of a custom order. So it actually is worth it. I should drink some more water while we're flying. And we're about to miss our landing zone. Our LZ. All right. Trying to fly with my left hand is not working so well. Oh, no. Yeah, don't drink and fly at the same time, guys. Oh. What? Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. There's caps protection on here, too. Welcome back, by the way. Sorry that it... Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, I have caps protection on, so... Yeah. Oh. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, again, I'm going to work on it. The auto mod stuff. Whenever I sing, I die. And again, I'm so sorry about that. I thought... You know what? I bet it is. It's because I'm using... That's coming from auto mod. No, that is coming from Streamlabs. I don't know why it's not showing up in my auto mod queue first. So, yeah, that's odd. I'll need to look into that too, because I thought that should show up. Because it was doing that the other day. It was showing up in my auto mod queue whenever something was getting banned, or like whenever it thought that something should get timed out or whatever. Yeah, I'll need to look. Yeah, again, it's gonna be a progress thing. It's gonna be looking through. So, anyways, we just actually went back. I don't know if you saw it. What do you want me to call you? Because srgf sir, like, how is that supposed to be said? Or like, I don't know. Here, I don't want to just keep calling you. So, yeah. But yeah, we just went over. I don't know if you saw it or not, but we just went over to the other shop, and dumped off a ton of wood in there. So, yeah, nothing too exciting except that we're doing it pretty good on the jungle log stock at the moment. So, it's kind of funny, right? Because people, like, on streams, bots can cause issues and stuff, but AutoMod and Streamlabs is technically a bot, right? He's just a good bot, I guess. Cursor or SRG? Okay. We can do that. We can do that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting thinking about that, where it's like a bot, there's good bots, there's bad bots, there's AI bots, which, like in games and stuff, and then there's, chat bots and stuff, which post, can be used for either spamming things or for advertising or for auto modding. But the problem is that, yeah, it's confusing. Yeah. Is that, oh, I thought I just fell off into the water stream again, but I didn't. Yay. That was called luckiness. That was called being very opportunistically placed half slab. Ah, so you're, yeah, I was wondering that. I see people's usernames like that. Yes. Um, yeah, so yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like, it looks like it's just uh, keyboard spam, but yeah. Oh. Yep. And So that means, you know what that means though, right? That means that your name, your username is literally your face or your head rather, maybe. I don't know. Your username is literally a product of yourself. I mean, I guess it would be a product of your it's a product of your head. It was made by your head, but not by your mind, right? Is that how it works? that that's kind of funny to think about. Um, oh, time to add some more bone meal to my hand. Okay, I thought so. Every time that happens and a tree grows up, like right over me, I think I've just gotten Illuminati confirmed. Uh, every time that happens, where a tree grows and I get like shot through the floor, or no, and I go down, I think I'm getting shot through the floor because I'm used to the older. You know, I used to play like 1.7.10 was where I stopped. So through like 1.8, 1.9, so it wasn't like until like 1.12 they actually started playing Minecraft like in the current version again. So this whole thing, I have all these like growing pains sort of. Like I'm trying to figure out like what, all the little changes. So there's those things, semi-solids in Minecraft. Yeah, semi-solids in Minecraft. That, I mean, depending on how you look at it, a slime block is a semi-solid, but I think I get where you mean, where it's like it actually like go through different blocks, or not, where it's like in a block form, but it'll like move, but like as a whole block instead of being like a fluid where it, like the water down here where it flows like that endlessly. Um, I think that's what you're trying to get at, but yeah, I think that'd be interesting to see. Is a block like that actually like has some kind of like a bounce sort of like, but like actual like flexing mechanic to it. Um, yeah, that would be interesting for sure. Um, for sure, faux show. That's something which we can say, right? We don't talk about the ones who wanted bees. Uh, I will say though, with that bee update, I mean, I do think that I'm I like the bees, but the fact that they're so huge. I mean, I get it kind of fits in with the whole Minecraft idea of uh, of having, the mobs are big, like a spider is huge compared to a real life spider. So it fits in. The way that they did the model on the bees fits in. But yeah, I but one thing that I really like about having bees in the game though is the fact that there are now two different kinds of essentially slime. I think the YouTuber Mumbo Jumbo, not Mumble Jumbo, Mumbo Jumbo, kind of hit it on the head back a couple years ago. Whenever one of his friends, or he asked one of his friends, or someone made a data pack for him because he's always talking about like having the idea of having like colored slime blocks. That way, you could have two different things that act like slime blocks, but um, that don't stick together. That way you can have the parallel flying machines and stuff for massive doors and that essentially infinitely expandable redstone doors and stuff. Bumbo Baggins. He's not a hobbit anymore though. He's not a hobbit anymore. I thought it was hilarious whenever he was like he was talking about, or like he was talking to Grian and he was like gonna break the news that he wasn't a hobbit anymore, and then Grian was like, I haven't been a hobbit for a while now. Yeah. But anyways, I think he hit it on the head with that, or the developer of that data pack hit it on the head whenever they put, the different colored slime blocks. That's something I haven't personally used in my redstone stuff yet. RTX colored light sources. Wait, is that actually in the RTX, Minecraft RTX version? Having colored light sources? Because that's a seriously cool thing. I would be down for that. I know. I'm pretty sure some mods which have made that a thing. But of course, that's in a mod, which isn't vanilla. But yes, that colored light sources, especially now they've introduced the blue lanterns and the blue fire into the game. Because, like, Minecraft didn't really have, there was torches and there was, there's torches, there's lanterns, there's fire, but it's all the same color. But now that they have the blue fire, the blue lanterns, the blue torches, the soul's what they're called, but the color's blue. It'd be really cool to, if at all, have blue, like the light source's color be taken into consideration. I guess we have had sea lanterns as well, which are blue, and then end rods, which are white. But and I guess technically we've had redstone torches, which are red. That would be a really cool mechanic to work with, especially for like map building and stuff, map making, adventure maps and stuff. Not that I'm into that, but that would be pretty cool. Glowstone, white dye, light block. Yeah, I could totally see that. I do understand the idea of it being difficult as far as like using glass as a filter to create a certain color of light. That's difficult. I'm pretty sure that's probably a thing in RTX, or in the RTX version of Minecraft. But Minecraft RTX, that's what it's called. Yeah, having a light block plus a dye would definitely be pretty cool, as well. Yeah, because then you could separate, like with the soul torch, you could have something like a yellow soul torch where it's still, it's yellow, or white, whatever, like a normal torch, but, or as far as like the light which it gives off, but it still has the effect and like the light level of the soul torch. Yeah, I could see that. That would be pretty neat. Yeah, but I do think though that would be something which would be much easier to implement in something like the RTX version, simply because of how the graphics system works, as opposed to the regular Java. Bedrock, it might be fairly easy to do in as well, but just from my knowledge, the way Java is coded, it can be difficult to work with whenever you get into stuff like that. The colored light sources I don't think would be so difficult, but as far as like having it go through glass, like the colored change, like having a colored filter, as far as like if you wanted the light source to be normal, but then it goes. I like that, having coal dimming the source, or the light source down. That'd be pretty neat. To have in vanilla. Yeah, these are all ideas. Which are pretty neat. If I was a mod developer, then I might actually make stuff, but modding's a little bit more than I have the time for, unfortunately. or the skill set for. I did look into it at one point, but no. Yeah. Yes, but I do think it is a absolutely brilliant idea. Wool makes it brighter. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Definitely for the creative builder, or not necessarily creative, but the architect, the builder, that would be that would definitely be a beneficial addition, I think. As far as just making it, things make it easier to create atmospheres, mood environments in a map or in a building, It make it easier to portray a story without really, having to I mean, you would still have to work pretty hard on it to come up with a storyline even. And then implementing that into a setting, though, would make that so much easier. If you could have colored light sources. Yeah, and then you have stuff like in modern builds. You could do, quite a bit with that in a more modern build too. I mean, when you think about it, you have, if, for example, a neon sign or something. I mean, I know they don't use the same neon system that they used to anymore. Because it's not super energy efficient, but there are still there's still a bunch of neon signs out there. But having a neon sign is pretty cool. You could really do that in Minecraft, and then it would have that same kind of a feel to it as it would in real life, where the stuff around it is lit up in the same color that the sign is. I mean, of course, any kind of a sign in Minecraft, if you're using a block thing, has to be huge. But, yeah. But it would definitely add some pretty cool aspects to the game. As far as artistic styles that you can put together and stuff, yeah. These in here. These leaves go in there as well. Yeah, so it's in Pacific time. That's a good thing to remember. Or to remember. So it's in Pacific time. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, so have a schedule for 2 hours. I mean, this stream was scheduled for 2 hours as well, but I just go kind of till either I'm told that dinner's ready, or my family wants to watch a movie, or I'm done for the day. So, if I get super tired or something, which I'm on the verge of right now. So, yep. Yep. I also, if you're interested, I have a Discord where I announce the streams. I tried to announce them 24 hours, and I think I'm going to start announcing them an hour or hour and a half before the stream starts, and then also whenever the stream starts as well. Yeah. So, see ya, sir, and sir. See you later, man. Hopefully, I can talk to you a little bit, at least on Wednesday. And if for some reason you can't make it to that, then there'll be another stream Friday as well. Oh, that sapling does not go there. Yep, Wednesday at 6. Yeah. All right. So let's go pull some of this out of there again. And I'm down to one more rocket, which means I'll have to go pull some more out of my end chest here. Yeah. We're probably going to finish up soon, too, with this stream, just because I'm feeling like I want to eat before I go to bed tonight, because I didn't eat before the stream, so it's been a couple hours since I've eaten. So, yeah. So we're going to do that, I think. But we're going to do a little bit more chopping and talking first. Chopping and talking. Yeah, I can name a stream that, too. Yeah. Next stream's actually going to be modded stream. So back on that modded world. So I'm planning, like I said, streaming every other day at this point. That's the schedule. That's the plan. We're going to hope we can stick to the plan. I'm pretty sure I will be able to, though. So, yep. Anyways, so yeah, it's going to be modded Wednesday. And back on this server on Friday. I'll try to put a little bit more time in chopping trees. And I think we're getting to that point where the other shop, we can open it up. We can call it good for the initial stock of the shop. So we might move on to something else for the next stream. And maybe it will not even be related to a grindy activity. Maybe we'll do something a little bit more interesting. I'm kind of waiting for the pre-releases for 1.16 to come out. That's going to be pretty cool whenever those start coming out. Actually get to see the finalized, like finalized stages of the development of that. We might, once the first pre-release comes out, jump into a creative world and just go mess around with the changes, because I haven't done that yet. I've been watching a couple people doing it, but I haven't done any jumping around there. I haven't done any stuff yet, so I don't know why I'm in here for. Oh, it's because I needed rockets. Rockets. This is why I always carry at least a half stack of rockets extra around. So now take massive breaks to go make up some more rockets. Yeah. So anyways, we might be doing that. I think for our first pre-release of 1.16, that'll probably be we'll probably change over one of the vanilla streams later on in the week, one of the later week ones. So either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday stream will be that. Assuming that a pre-release comes out this month. I'm kind of thinking that's going to be on Minecraft's birthday from its initial release on the it's probably going to be on the 17th of May. If I was putting a date on it, it would be the 17th of May, whenever either first pre-release, which is actually this Friday, might be the first pre-release in my mind. But of course I'm not Mojang. I don't even know if they've talked or if they've set a date yet. There might be too many things that they're still trying to work out before they're ready to call it a pre-release. Or there might even be one last feature that they want to add in. You never know. I'm not going to tell them how to make their game. I'll enjoy their game. If I was the dev of a game, that's exactly how it would be. Good taking suggestions. But as far as having someone armchair quarterbacking it, telling me how to develop my game, no. That's one thing. If I ever am talking about Mojang, I'm talking about a change I'd like to see. It's about something which I'd like to see, not something which I'm like, you have to add this or else you break the game. But no, because really, if they stopped updating everything in Minecraft, if they just stopped putting out updates, which I'm really happy they haven't. I'm really happy they're still adding new stuff to the game. Because, I think adding new stuff to the game keeps people in it. And honestly, I never thought that this game would get this far whenever I first purchased it. Whenever I first purchased my first account on this game, which me and my brother both shared the purchase, so it was, I don't think it was quite 50-50, but yeah, so we both went in on it. Later on, I bought this account, which I'm playing on now, just so that we could both play together. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to get this far in development. I was expecting it to kind of just stay. There'd be a couple updates here and there, but I wasn't expecting bi-yearly updates. Like, I didn't, at the time that I actually got Minecraft at first, I didn't know anything about computer games really. And if I did know stuff about computer games, then I really would have just expected them to just, be like a couple updates and done. Because that's what a lot of computer games are, is that there's your main update and then it's done. There's no, ongoing updates. You don't have the whole, like Minecraft, you have an update every, 6 months, like a major update, not just like a bug fix update or something. There's a lot of bug fix updates in Minecraft, but it's not like Minecraft isn't a one-hit release game where it's the big release. After that, there may be a couple patches that come out for multiplayer stuff to prevent hacking in that. Minecraft isn't like that, and I'm getting shot at by a skeleton, but I'm out of range now, I think. So, that's probably one of the other things I really like about Minecraft. The other thing where they make it so easy to mod, it's free. Mods for Minecraft are free. And I'm really big into mods. I know not a lot of people are, but there is a lot of people who are. But I know there's a lot of people who like vanilla. There's a lot of people who only do mods. I like playing a mix of both, because if I only do one, I get burned out on the other. Which is why I started up the new modded series on my custom mod pack. Which I might at some point publish it to Twitch, if you guys want to play along with me, whatever. But it's not really one that I put a lot of thought into. I just picked a few mods that look good. I was like, hey, I'll play it till I finish. Really, what I want to do with that, with the mod pack, I know I'm playing vanilla right now, so I probably shouldn't be talking about the mod pack. But, I can't be talking about mod pack, whatever. But I really want to get, like, my biggest goal, aside from getting a functioning mine colony that is self-sufficient and statically produces resources for me to use, like the base resources, wood, mine ores, and stuff. Mine colonies is a mod I've never used before, before this series. It takes a ton of time to get going too. Ton of time. But I finally got to the point where it's self-sustainable, which is amazing. They won't probably survive a night, or a full night on their own, but they would, they would survive for the most part. But you guys can see that more later, and I'll definitely be doing some more talking about that tomorrow during that live stream. Ooh, not tomorrow. Wednesday during that live stream. I'll be doing a lot more talking about that mod pack specifically. Because I'll be playing on that mod pack at the time. So, kind of figures, right? So, come on. Let's try to hold it together for these last little bit of the stream. Let's see. What are we going to do? So whenever we finish chopping this tree down, we're going to go ahead and... Perfect. All looks good. All right. We're gonna go ahead and replant everything once I pick up enough saplings to actually do a good replant of stuff. And then we're gonna go do one last stocking run of the shop. And then, yeah, so if there's anything that you guys want to talk about for the last little bit here, let me know. I really would like to have something to talk about for the last few minutes of the stream. So, yeah. I need more dark oak saplings. We're just gonna have to steal these ones. But I try not to. It's because that minecart hopper is backed up. Oh, it looks like it might just picked up a bunch of saplings. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So also, guys, it is shameless plug time. So I am going to just let y'all know I have a YouTube channel. There's not much content on there right now, but I do plan on uploading another video hopefully this week at some point. All the live streams do go up on there, so I know Twitch will delete live streams after a certain time frame. After a certain period of time, Twitch will delete live streams, and that's just to free up their database of old live streams, because people don't normally come to Twitch to watch past live streams, at least at nowhere near the amount as people come to watch live stuff. And it's that they can avoid the issues that YouTube runs into, where they have absolutely jam-packed databases of videos. Actually don't need to empty all of my inventory out right now. So anyways, yeah, so you can go over to YouTube. There is a chat command for it. If you do !YT, all lowercase, just to heads up. Don't know if it'd recognize if you did capitals. Chatbot might ban you, but or time you out. When it ban you, I don't have it. I have not given it the authority to ban people because I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, if you guys want to head over to my YouTube channel and go take a look at that, command for that is !YT or YouTube as well works with the exclamation point in front of it. And then also there's a community Discord page where you can, or it's not really a page, I suppose, server, Discord server, so it's a chat thing. And you guys can all go over there as well. The invite link to that is under the command !DC for Discord, or you can also just type in the full word Discord as well. I believe there is also a calendar. Well, I know there is a calendar one, but I don't know if it's in a chat command. I believe it is in the chat command !links, and !links will take you to all of, or will pop up with all of the links that I have programmed into the bot. So yeah, if you guys if you're interested in watching some of my videos or my past live streams, which have been taken off of Twitch at this point, due to having been on there for the 2 weeks that it allows me to have them on there for, then go ahead, check that out. There will be down below my channel page here on Twitch, there's also all those links are also there. And I will probably be updating that the stuff down below there at some point in the near future, because I actually have a stream schedule at this point. Oh man, sorting out all these leaves is difficult. So yeah, if you guys want to do that. Also, if you are interested in watching another stream, doesn't have to be the one on Wednesday, you guys can hit that follow button on Twitch up in your upper right. If you're on PC, mobile, I'm not 100% sure where it pops up on. I do watch Twitch stuff on mobile, but I don't really pay attention because I really only watch people who I already follow on mobile. But then it will send you notifications however you have it set up with your account. Anytime that I go live. And you can also, if you decide that you want to, not watch my stuff, whenever later on, you can always either silence the notifications for my channel, or you can unfollow. But please don't unfollow. Just, yeah. Jeez. Fun, weird thing to talk about, right? Anyway, so yeah, go ahead and hit the follow button if you want to. If you don't, then whatever. But we will have ourselves, what? That's weird. Anyways, I hope that you guys all have a excellent day. And I hope to see you all either on Discord, maybe later. Well, probably not really today, but maybe tomorrow. Or on the stream on Wednesday. So again, it's gonna be on the modded server, and it's not a server. It's gonna be on the modded world, and it's going to be it's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we are going to go ahead and do up a little bit of a raid today. And we're going to go and raid Joe Hills. So if you guys want to join the